What's going on, good people? Very happy to see you guys. Me and Kyle are shooting today, just going over a couple of social media topics today.
Yeah,
Stuff has been kind of trending around the way. So, Kyle, how you doing, brother?
doing all right, my brother Mike. How you doing, family? All's well.
Very well.
All is
Yeah,
good.
very well. Very well. Trying to, can't wait to get into a couple of these topics. But all good, though, all positive. Just, what's kind of trending around. Wanted to touch on it. See what you kind of think about it. What's your kind of thoughts on it is?
Indeed, yes.
All right.
So yeah, family, we definitely want to tap into that. There's a lot of stuff going on, little things that we want to touch on. Me and Mike were just talking about. We want to bring the conversation from private into public. So, I know Mike definitely got some views on it that he definitely want to share with all of us. And, yeah, it's gonna be a good convo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. So yeah, go ahead and get everything kick started. So recently in the media, what's been super trending is the young lady Keke Palmer and the concert situation with Usher. Are you any information you have about that, Kyle? Or
I got a little bit,
seen it?
man. Usher, you know what I'm saying? With the big U in the name, you know what I'm saying? Keke Palmer, who we grew up with, whenever I think of Keke, man, I always think of the spelling bee, man. I just, because, that's what we grew up with, Akila the B, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I know.
And nothing wrong with the attachment,
Right.
Same here, right when I was staying there. I watched Nope pretty recently. I'm sorry, I just caught up. Y'all forgive me.
Yeah.
But I saw her
haven't
in that
seen
when
it,
she
man.
looked so.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Nope.
okay, I feel better than you should. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
But check it out. I looked her up. So ironic. I looked her up, and I was like, oh, that is her. You know what I'm saying? All grown up now and everything. Lovely looking young woman too.
Mhm.
So just to give the audience a little background of it. So Keke is at a concert. Usher's performing, and she definitely looked like she was having a good time. Definitely looked like she was having a good time. Let me double down on that one.
Yeah.
More to the background of it, everybody knows Usher is a crooner type singer. So kind of reminds you of Eddie Kane, Five Heartbeats. Got everybody fainting in the crowd, kind of thing. That's really how he's able to maneuver when he does his shows. He's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So throughout the show, social media is going to social media, right? So everybody's in the comments noticing how much Keke is having fun with Usher during the concert. And no knock, somebody having a good time. It's totally cool. So her boyfriend chimes in. And her boyfriend chimes in with not such boyfriendy things to say about Keke. One, how she was acting on stage with Usher, and two, her outfit. So now the attention totally turns on him. And granted, they are they are at that time they were as it seemed, a very healthy relationship, and they just had a child together.
Right.
So in the concert itself, the boyfriend has been receiving a lot of backlash. And forgive me for not knowing his name offhand, but he's been receiving a lot of backlash of it, saying he was trying to body shame his girlfriend on television because she was with Usher or in a provocative outfit.
Right.
So I went a couple of ways with this initially.
Mhm.
And to my fault itself, because I initially saw the information, I was like, man, this guy's right. This guy's right.
Mhm.
I'm glad I didn't tweet that. I'm glad I didn't tweet that about it.
You didn't follow that first
Yo,
time?
so
Like,
yeah, you got your finger on the button, you just right above the button, but you gotta think now. So and I think my man felt guilty this one too. I think he felt guilty of hitting that button opposed to thinking it out. Because on Twitter, on social media, these people keep receipts.
yeah.
And they started tagging him on his post of Keke.
Wow.
Now, he had a particular one where she's up and she's shaking her tail feather, so to speak, and he's recording it, making mention of how, she's gotten thick since she's been pregnant, had the baby and whatnot.
Yeah.
So now so you're on social, you are upset with her for wearing this provocative outfit, but at the same time you promote the provocativeness. Because I'm watching it and it became super clear at this point in time. My man was just in a jealous spiel at the moment.
Yeah.
He was hot that Keke and Usher was having a great time on stage. I look more into that too.
Mm-hmm.
To just to assure myself that Keke isn't just a special person and tomorrow to be another headline with Usher and Keke. Actually, Usher does this with the crowd always. Like if he sees a celebrity in the crowd, he always pushes up to them to kind of boost the performance. So
True.
Yeah. So it's something he always does. And as I've been looking at it via social media, Kyle Kuzma, the NBA basketball player, plays for the Washington Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
They was in attendance also, him and his girl. And as Usher was approaching them, I guess they must have made eye contact, Kuzma's girlfriend and Usher. She immediately jumps in Kuzma's lap. Like, oh no, I know this is coming.
I didn't know about that.
I don't want no part. I don't want no part of it. You know what I'm saying? But that all goes back into more so on how that's like Usher's MO. That's that is like just something he does from an entertainment standpoint.
Yes.
Now from Keke's boyfriend standpoint, I wouldn't be the happiest character in that moment either, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not in the entertainment business,
right?
And the likelihood of me dating entertainment would probably be kind of slim to expect for that to ever be a situation I would have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a situation I had to deal with, then I know that. Well, I would like to think that we wouldn't be so googly-eyed in front of everybody from an Usher standpoint. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, man, you hit a lot of great points, Mike, man. Just so many layers to it. And like you said, it's really a private thing that ended up going public by her boyfriend's actions and statements made publicly on social media. So he put everybody in their business, unfortunately, and he's getting backlash because when she put it out on social media, everybody has an opinion. Like I said, everybody and their mama and their daddy and their cousins too, got an opinion. So when he put it out there in that way, he made something that should have really been private. He made it public. And like you said, Usher is an entertainer. I know, Usher is from my generation. So, he's a vet now and he knows how to have a good show. He knows how to entice his crowd. Keke is also a celebrity and actress. So they're both in the entertainment field, one in music, one in acting. She can sing too, but she's more actress. And she just came from having a child. So talking with my homegirls, she's trying to feel sexy again. She's trying to feel like appealing to herself again. So the so-called provocative outfit that you mentioned, again, I can't call it. I wouldn't say I would want, someone who I'm dealing with to maybe have that on. But again, that's a conversation that needs to be had privately or before she even wears the outfit. Like one of my friends and somebody I read online was saying that that's a silent agreement, man. That's an agreement that you had in your head that you didn't express to your mate, that you didn't express to your partner. You know what I'm saying? To your girl, your guy, your woman, your man. Like we have these things in our minds like, oh, well, I just expect her to know. I expect him to know. And just like, no, unless you say it and state it and discuss it, you can't assume. You can't assume. And he assumed, it seems, let me say that, family. It seems he assumed that his lady would not wear that outfit and or get crooned by Usher at the same time. And she's feeling it on camera. So, it's again, I don't know all the dynamics of the relationship, but apparently he was offended. Right? That he was really
Clearly,
offended.
yes.
And and the outfit she did have on, was a sex will be seen as a sexy outfit, right? So yeah, my take on it, man, is like it just he went about it the wrong way. And was he jealous, like you said? I think so. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I would not be jealous. I'll put out there for real. I don't know if I would not be jealous. You know what I'm saying? So, but that doesn't mean I would act negatively towards my lady. It would just be a conversation that we need to have. Be like, okay, well, first of all, I'm at the point now. I'm like, well, why am I feeling jealous? And if I'm feeling jealous, I'm gonna let her know that I'm feeling jealous, and let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like let's have a conversation, because how we move forward from here lets me know like where our relationship is going or where it's not going. You know. Um, so yeah, man. But it was just one of them things, like, Usher's doing his thing, and people making comments like, oh, Usher's gonna no, Keke's gonna risk it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, this is and you gotta admit they're young too. They're in their late 20s, so they're still fairly young compared to how people do relationships now. They're fairly young. Think about it, in our parents' generation, they was already having us. You know what I'm saying? They was already at that age. They was already having us, and they were a little more mature. The older generation was a little more mature in certain social manners. They didn't have social media. They didn't have these electronics and gadgets to deter their attention and to underdevelop themselves as far as social skills. Right? The only way you're gonna be underdeveloped in social skills is when you didn't come out the house. Like,
yes.
yes, that's for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But
no, agreed, and
yeah,
no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And then you look at it, you bringing up our parents, and like now social media is such a radar for everybody, and what was it, 1984, Big Brother, like we can't get away from, what I'm saying? It's always Big Brother's always watching.
Yeah.
And that was really what they got caught up in. And what do I know if he was jealous over Usher, or was it actually the outfit? I'm not sure. Yeah. A man might have got caught up in a bad, in a bad moment. That's the reason why I just warn people against pressing that button, man. Yeah, watch that button sometime, because in his situation, like, even if he was responding, any response he would have had, he was already fighting losing battle once he had initially pressed send.
Yep.
Because then he was being attacked from a feminist standpoint, and that's a losing battle in 2023. But that's just a losing battle. The freedoms that women require now, statements like that are just not tolerated. And then And then the hypocrisy behind it, with you kind of entertaining that in your own right, but I guess now you're upset because you're not able to control the element, for whatever reason it is. It just comes off as a bad look. I don't think Homeboy is a bad guy.
I don't think so.
I applaud Keke for the turnaround that she did with it, on how she didn't buy into none of the negativity with it. I'm hearing she even got some merch dropping soon. I'm a mother or something like that. She has dropped some shirts or something dropping by it. So yeah, I definitely appreciate the positive spin that she was able to create with it, because that's not always the case. And a lot of times people try to double down on something. So I really hope that they're able to keep their relationship together. Before this incident, I've never seen them not look like super happy together. I've seen, even on her social, as I was reading on the story, how she brags about him, how she, truly has an affliction for him. So definitely rooting for him. Just one of those stories that, a situation that, you hate to happen, definitely hate to get out, but the way that she handled it, I think, can be a learning session for a lot of, young adults in their relationship. And, the power, to your point, the power in that communication, and how you can become powerless in your assumptions.
Indeed, bro. Indeed. Yeah, that hitting that button, or hitting, clicking that that icon or message, man, it could change your life, like for the negative or for the positive. And that's a good point. That them being young, I do like how she did handle the situation, man. She's pretty mature for the most part throughout her career, throughout her life that we've seen on camera. And again, like you were saying, I've only heard about good things about their relationship, for the most part. I mean, people chime in when they had the child, and like, are y'all getting married and all this type of thing. And I'm like, I get it, but for the most part, they seem like they're very, very loving toward each other. So that was good to see that how she did handle that, man. And I think they'll be better for it. It's just that you would hate to see them go through this, like something like this public, because like I said earlier, everybody has an opinion, and it can weigh on you.
Yes. And a lot, transition or evolution, even to relationships now. So a lot of the marriage that occurred in our parents' day, or even our day, a lot of that religious tradition, this generation is really not carrying, opposed to bonds and spiritual. So the traditional marriage, not to be like it's gone, I'm not saying that, but a lot of this generation, or the younger generation, really focuses on that spiritual bond, opposed to putting it on paper, so to speak, and put it on paper, songs about that was the thing, back then, shotgun wedding, the whole nine, y'all pregnant, y'all, pregnant related marriage, it's not really the thing anymore, from a definite standpoint. So I applaud them on making their moves when they want to, not being guided by anybody, and again, as it seems, just a hiccup in the relationship, which everyone will have. So yeah.
Indeed. No relationship is without issues, man, and that's what people got to realize too. It took me a minute to think about that, but every relationship got some type of issues. You can't, because we live in a world of issues, so you can't absolve it. It's just that you hope, like you said, that they come to some agreement, some resolution, man, and work through it.
And then you got to appreciate people's individuality also. If you appreciate, because ultimately you like this person for something, right?
Exactly.
And a lot of it, would be, their personality, their individuality. So, yeah, I think this was healthy for them, so to speak, and I definitely rooting for them. I hope they definitely keep it going, and I hope us as the masses look at it as a learning lesson, even if we're not in that moment right now. Something we can cling to.
Indeed, man. So yeah, that's real. That's real. And like, chiming in with the other scenario, with the not even like an opposite scenario, like a I had a hard time even getting it out, man. But it's just like a whole other vibe, energy on the other scenario we were talking about earlier, man.
It's plus and minus day and night now.
Yeah.
So yes. So you speaking about the Mr. Zion Williamson?
Yes, sir.
That's something you speaking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Zion.
So Zion has become a interesting character as of late, right?
Yeah.
So guys, a little background of that to this. So Zion recently posted pictures about him and a young lady welcoming a baby to the world. Beautiful thing, right?
Right.
Perfect. Pictures were great too. Pictures were great. So a little bit after that, a young lady who has occupational OnlyFans, if anyone familiar with OnlyFans, comes out pretty upset with Zion in this situation and making a lot of claims toward Zion, and really didn't stop there. She's threatening him on social media of exposing him via a sex tape that they may have, exposing him about wire transfers for money that he owes her or is supposed to be sending her. I'm assuming within these threats, not really sure.
Yeah.
I even seen one recently where she got his name tattooed on her face also.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much the background with it. And so in seeing this one, I have to feel sorry for the young
Mm,
man. Looking at it, of course, he might not be making the wise. He might not have made the wise decisions that he's ever had in life in all of this. But you got to understand, young millionaire NBA player
mm-hmm,
in another city every night.
mm-hmm.
These women, definitely. It's his life is different than mine is.
Yeah,
Like I would have to approach a, I would have to approach a woman.
right.
He doesn't have to worry about that. He's approached, 24/7. Guys like him had to pick at the lid. It's not jealousy. This is just me speaking the truth. The
That's
guy,
true
he
for
he
both
he,
of
ha-
us.
he has it like that.
He
Yeah,
does.
he has it like that. And it's just that's his reality. So opposed to me spending my time being rejected all day long, he gets to spend his time. He gets to spend his time rejecting people all day long.
Right. We get rejected. You get accepted.
And
Right?
it looked like he may have ran up on her and kind of ran out of nose a little bit. He may have ran out of time, like they had some good times together. But me being a guy coming up, learning himself, learning his body, experiencing stuff with people, I knock what occurred to Zion by no means. I know he will, with this, also treat this as a lesson. Mm-hmm. And I hope it doesn't bleed into his current relationship with his soon-to-be baby mother also.
Right, I hope not either.
Man, we've all picked one, that was, right. And and hopefully, I'm hearing that, she's claiming that she's pregnant or whatnot. I know Twitter put a cease and desist out for her.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that attorneys are doing something pretty close to that, get it all shut down, because it brings up a lot of negative attention to the young man. And
mm-hmm.
I don't believe that fair within any relationship that you've been in. Now, the one thing that she's not able to claim is any abuse, emotionally or physically, mm-hmm. or ultimately how he's wronged her in any way, ultimately outside of they didn't work out.
Right.
So I have no qualms with Zion whatsoever. The average NBA player gets into these situations all the time. If you dig deep enough, if you remember Jordan and Juanita's the beginning to their relationship, mm-hmm. on how she ultimately put an ultimatum on him to get married, how we were going to have a relationship.
I've heard about
and
that.
I don't even want to dig too deep in that one, but if anyone has the time to educate themselves on how that relationship kickstarted, it'd be something to look into. Okay. But yes, from an NBA standpoint, from a sports athlete standpoint, this is really nothing. No new news here, guys. There's nothing really new. Situation with an exotic model individual who does her OnlyFans thing. Relationship that went astray. It seems as if someone is upset on Zion's transition to fatherhood, being with somebody else, whatever it may be. He's his own man, and I'm not here for none of it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, again, man, you're hitting some great points, and it's just like those dynamics that there's stuff that we know and there's stuff that we definitely don't know, and we can just assume and speculate on. But like you said, it seems like somebody's in contention because someone else isn't as invested in the relationship as they thought they were, or they're taking advantage of the situation to say, well, you're with this woman, but you were with me last night, type of thing. You're claiming, or you're putting out the imagery of a fatherhood, or you're committed in a monogamy with this woman or this person. And then on the other end, you had some type of intimacy with me, I guess within the time frame or over long periods of time. And I want to expose you for that because I still have feelings, or I can take advantage of the situation and get some more notoriety for me in my position as well. So it's very interesting, man. But like I said, it's nothing new. It's just that it's put out on Front Street now that we have all the social media. Because trust, believe, family, these athletes had issues like this, maybe even crazier, back in the the Last Dance era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So it's just that it was highly, quelled, and we didn't get a sense of it because the media put it to bed. They put it to bed
Yes,
because
and then outside of a magazine or the newspaper, where would you hear about it?
right.
Yeah, it's not going to be fed to you like social does nowadays.
Yeah, it was tabloid. It was like tabloid and maybe
Mhm.
a book, maybe like a tell-all book, and even that was kind of like speculative.
Exactly. So yeah, the attention that it could gain back then is nothing to the heights that it is now. Now I will say that and like I said, I'm not in this situation,
Mhm.
but I not to be like Zion abuser, but
Mhm.
playing with people's emotions can trigger some people. I was I wasn't a fly on the wall. I have no idea about anything that occurred with it, but outside looking in, she may have had some expectations that Zion didn't follow through on also.
Right.
But but again, we're not talking marriage or no bond. We're talking about a relationship. And I'm smart enough to know that those fall apart. Those potentially can fall apart.
Yeah.
So I know it becomes a bad look for Zion because this is not the attention that he wants right now.
Mhm.
With everything he already has going on professionally, also, it's just not a good look. But I am rooting for him to bounce back from this. I know he has a good team with him. Young man still got a lot of growing to do, also. So his maturation will come around. I'm definitely rooting for that.
Mhm.
He doesn't seem like a bad guy. Like I said, he gets a lot of attention from he gets a lot of attention from that side of the world. And being a young man, I can totally understand wanting to take a peek at some of this stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, totally get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, you're young. Like you made a good point earlier, man. Like, when is it? You're a man or woman, right? Man or woman. You're in your 20s. You haven't even 25 yet, and you got millions of dollars, literally. Like, not a million, millions, right? In your account. Not like assets. Like, no, liquid, family. When we talk about liquid, that means
Yes.
cash, money, right? Not in a building, not in an investment, like cash money. So for a man or a
Yes.
woman, that's pretty tough, man, because you're still maturing. Me and Mike can speak on this, man. When we was in our 20s, there's certain things we weren't doing because of our personalities, but there's other stuff that we got into, like, oh man, I'm glad I got out of that, man. Or, like, oh man, I made a mistake here. Oof, that's, man, like that could have been bad, like, because you're
Yeah.
young. They said the brain doesn't fully develop and settle till what, 25?
Yeah. Yeah. You got some time, man.
Yeah,
And then and then like again, with his wealth, I mean, he's just up against it. And I'm not
yeah,
saying, and I keep bringing it up, but it's not a bad thing. But his circumstances, his reality is just different than my
different.
reality, and
Yeah,
I understand it. Yeah.
it is different, man. It is. I saw recent I saw a recent video clip with Gil. I was gonna say Gil Scott, not Gil Scott. Gilbert Arenas, right? Gilbert Arenas,
Okay. Okay.
the
Yeah.
former NBA player. Gilbert, he has his No Chill Gil podcast. He had a good snippet. He talked about how Allen Iverson's bodyguard helped him to move differently when he's out and about, like out in the streets and going to clubs and things like that. He said, because I didn't think of myself as a star, and then when I got with Allen Iverson's bodyguard, he put me on some game, put me on some knowledge to say, hey man, you can't be going up in these clubs and going up to these certain places at certain times of night thinking that you're just a regular guy. You're not. Like, people are targeting, they're positioning themselves to get at you, right? And to get a little bit of what you have, whether that be your stardom, whether that be your money, whether that be your popularity, something, So you got to move differently, and that's what Zion's learning right now.
Yeah. Everybody wants a piece of it. You gotta understand that target is on your back. Everyone wants a piece. There's a long list of this stuff happening. Jordan's situation with his father,
Yeah.
Paul Pierce at the bar that night. As
Right. Yeah.
these situations go on and on. So you definitely got to, if it's not with a lady, you know what I'm saying? It can be any circumstance. It can be anything. So you just want to you just want to be careful. And for the most part, what Zion did, nothing criminal. Men father babies. It's nothing new. If the circumstance comes up to where both these young women end up pregnant, and he's the father, they'll have a they'll have a great childhood. One,
Mm,
he'll be able to take care of them. He
hmm.
officially be able to take care of it, no doubt about that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And hopefully he'll be able to learn and move on from
Yeah.
it. But yeah, me trying to pin him down or put some scarlet letter on him about this, I'm not doing it. No.
Right, right, right. And family, just let you know, neither we doing it to the women either. It's just one of those situational
No.
things where you got personalities and dealing with young, virile, you know, opportunistic people, men and women. These situations happen. Like unfortunately, but they do happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, the biggest portion of it for me is just the growth. If I hear about it this time next year, Zion up to the same thing, like shame, John. Like you know
Right,
better,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right, right.
But yeah, that growth element of it all is really where I'm at with it because stuff happens. I mean, for the most part, what we place here for to learn and experience. So
Mm. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, no, that's real. And that's why we're talking about this film because relationships are a huge thing. People make it seem like it's not, but that's why we're talking about it because people are making it a big deal, even though they say it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal, because we're using these people as like avatars for us, our relationship scenarios. And like Mike said earlier, these people have different lifestyles than we have. We don't live exactly the same. So certain scenarios are gonna pan out differently for them than for us. But there
yeah,
are some similarities because people want to know, like, well, if my girl go out and get crooned by Usher, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I a punk for not, am I lame for not like saying nothing, or like Zion, women are like, well, Zion doing his thing. Like, what's up with that? Like, shouldn't he be chastised? Like, he's not being responsible. It's like, yeah, there's some, got some valid points on both ends. There's multiple ways we can look at this thing, from a cultural
yeah. I mean,
standpoint.
yeah. And I'm not, and believe me, I'm not a 100% pro Zion's actions.
Right,
I'm not 100% pro Kiki's actions,
right.
but I'm totally in a non-judgmental zone of it. Would that be right for me? I'm not sure. But
Mm-hmm.
if people with her and they're able to survive and grow from it, then I have no issue with none of it. I have no issue with
Yeah,
none of it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm at with. Main part is bringing it to people's attention. A lot of people like to take sides in scenarios like this, and I just wanted to put out more of the facts about what happened, and really just provide like a holistic thought process of where I'm at with it and why I'm there with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Indeed. No, that's the whole point of the platform and us talking about these things as men because like we could take easily sides, but it's just like now let's look at it from an objective standpoint, to as objective as we can be, and like let's look at it from
Mm-hmm.
many different sides, many different angles because we still don't know all the facts. We still don't know all the facts, but just based on what we have known or what perceives to be known as truth, here's our take on it. So
Yeah.
so family, so take it, know our opinions and our discussions are not under violation. Take it with a grain of salt. Our word is not law, but just give you something different to think about because a lot of people are just, to be honest, just yapping their mouth and they don't know what they're talking about. And it's just like, and it's not to say that we're the premier, commenters on this thing, but we're saying that we want to provide a different angle for this thing. So to give you something to think about, we always want you to think about certain things and be able to have your own opinion, but also backed by very sound, very, very logical, and just very cultural based perspective on it. So yeah, so that's what it is. Do we have anything else that we want to share with the folks, the people?
I think we're good, man. I think we had a good little session right there with that.
Yeah.
Again, I hope both scenarios move forward with that growth and continue to have healthy relationships or where they want to be. Again, I want to applaud Keke for really keeping it positive in her responses and not matching that energy, so to speak, from social media and from her boyfriend with the scenario. So really applaud her for that one. She could have took it left, you know. She could have heard it, and it got into the back. She could have took it left. So applaud her for that. Zion also looked like he's been quiet through this whole scenario. I think that's the best thing for him, opposed to lashing back. When you take that high road, it kind of puts you in a way better look, from the masses. So I applaud him on taking a high road with that too. And that's pretty much it, Kyle.
Indeed. And on that note, family, like what Mike was saying, your maturity level, I agree. They definitely handled it, and they are handling it the best way they know how. And I think they handled it with the best intentions for both, the people involved, and just also in regards to just how they're viewed in the public eye. So I do like how they're taking it and they're making it positive. And we can always use these situations to learn from. All these situations are all for us to learn from, whether it be seen as negative or positive or indifferent. It's just for us to learn from it in our own personal lives. And like Mike said, don't be so quick to press that button.
at least read over it 3 times.
Right.
Consider consequences at all times, please.
Indeed, family. So on that note, make sure you like, share, subscribe on us. You don't gotta wait on that. So like, share, subscribe on us. Make sure to share this with your friends. If you got comments, please put them down below. Put them down below. We want to hear.
We will respond.
Yeah, we want to respond. And, we're not gonna cut you off. We're gonna let you talk, and we're gonna probably add it maybe at the next video. And yes, family. Until then, I'll sign off. Definitely make sure to check us out again for more videos on the channel. And until then, peace out.
Stay blessed. Peace.
Peace.